Hey guys, it's Lauren, and today I'm going to show you how to execute some really cool masking transitions. Let's get right into it. So the first one is this masked text transition where your text is masked in the center of your clip. For this, you're obviously going to need 2 clips on your timeline, and what I'm first going to do is just a slide left transition. I'm just going to speed through this part. Now duplicate both of your clips by hitting Command D on your keyboard. And for the one that's on top, you're going to delete the keyframes from your transition. Now click on the clip that's on top and go to Layer, New, Text, and just type whatever you want it to say. You can type in song lyrics, your username, etc. I'm just going to type in example. Make sure the color of your text is white. If it's not, just highlight your text, click right here, and make the color white. Click on Align and click on Horizontal Center Alignment. Hit S on your keyboard to go to Scale and just increase it to be as large as you want. Make sure you have snapping enabled if you have it, and just drag your text to the center of your composition. Now I'm just going to pre-compose this text layer. This isn't really a necessary step, but I just like having my extra layers pre-composed. So just right-click, pre-compose, and make sure you're clicked on this circle and this square. Now I'm just going to hit Shift-Command-D on my keyboard to cut and delete the excess of this pre-composed layer. Again, using Shift-Command-D, I'm going to split this pre-composed layer right here when your second clip begins. And I'm just going to drag this clip so it's right above these two. So this is how your layout should look. Now click on Toggle Switches and Modes and it should change. And for this clip that's sandwiched in the middle, click on None and change it to Luma Matte. Do the same for this clip that's sandwiched in the middle. And now it should look like this. Next, we're going to do this 3D heart flip. Before we begin, please download the picture of the heart I have provided in the description in the form of a mega link. So just like last time, we're going to duplicate both of our clips, and I'm just going to drag the picture of the heart into my timeline. Hit S on your keyboard to increase the scale to your liking. Click on the clip right below the picture, go to Layer, New, Solid, make sure that it's black, and click OK. Now pre-compose the heart and the solid together. Trim off the excess, and split it right in the middle. Then drag the pre-composed layer right above these 2 clips. Now for both clips, you're going to hit Command C to copy this pre-composed layer, then click on the clip on the bottom and hit Command V to paste it. So it should essentially be clip, heart, clip, heart. Repeat for the second clip. So again, we're going to go to Toggle Switches and Modes, choose this clip right here and change it from None to Luma Matte. Then click on the bottom clip and change it from None to Luma Inverted Matte. Do the same exact thing for your second clip. Click on Toggle Switches and Modes again to get back to your original setup. Now you want to pre-compose this top pre-composed layer with your first clip. Repeat for your second clip. If you haven't already, enable your motion blur, and also enable it on your new pre-composed clips. Enable 3D on these new pre-composed clips as well. On your first clip, hit R on your keyboard to go to rotation, and I'm going to do a Y rotation, but you can also do an X rotation. Towards the beginning of your clip, add a keyframe for Y rotation and keep it at 0. Hit O on your keyboard to go to the end of the clip, then increase this to around 70. Highlight both of your keyframes, right-click on one of them, go to Keyframe Assistant, and click on Easy Ease. Then go to your graph editor. I like to do 3D in terms of speed graph, so I'm just going to click on here and change from value to speed, and just follow my graph. You're also going to pull down on this little yellow square to have it dip below this line so that it goes in the opposite direction before it fully flips. Now go to this next clip on top. Again, hit R on your keyboard. At the very beginning, add a keyframe for Y rotation and make it the opposite value of what you did for the last clip. So since I did positive 70 for the last clip, I'm going to do negative 70 for this one. Hit O on your keyboard to drag your time indicator to the end of your clip and bring your Y rotation back to 0. Easy as your keyframes, and follow my graph. Last step, make sure you're still clicked on this top clip, go to Layer, New, Light, and make sure the light type is parallel. And this is what it should look like. Next, we're going to do this mirror slide transition. For this, you're going to need 2 clips, and your first clip should obviously contain a mirror. This is fairly simple as long as you have a good mirror picture. So primarily, copy your first clip that has the mirror in it, and paste it above both clips so it's at the very top. Then extend its length so it lasts throughout the duration of both clips. Go up to your pen masking tool and just create a mask of the inside of the mirror. Hit M on your keyboard to go to mask, and click on inverted. You shouldn't be able to see a difference, it should look the same. Caret down on mask right here and make your mask feather around 10. Now go back to your selection tool. Now I'm gonna do a slide down transition using these two clips on the bottom. I'm just gonna speed through this part. Lastly, we're gonna add a light sweep to this second clip. In Effects and Presets, look up light sweep and drag that into your second clip. At the beginning of the clip, drag this dot to the top right corner of the mirror and add a keyframe for center. Hit O on your keyboard to go to the end of the clip and just drag this dot somewhere towards here. And this is what it should look like. So now we're gonna do this solid split screen mask. For this, you're gonna need two clips and you want them arranged as such so that the clip on the top lasts throughout the duration of both clips. And you also wanna have this top clip have two people on either side of the screen. Before we begin, make sure this top clip is pre-composed because we're gonna have to do some masking. So right here, when your second clip comes into frame, you wanna split this top clip by using Shift-Command-D. Then hit Command-D to make a duplicate of this second segment. So for this top layer, I'm going to mask 4, and for this bottom layer, I'm gonna mask Triss. So I'm going to start with 4 and I'm going to use Rotobrush, which is a very quick and effective masking method. So click on the little Rotobrush icon right here. Make sure that you're clicked on the clip that you want to create the mask of and double click on your display. Then I'm just gonna generally scribble in where he is by holding down. If you miss an area, like right here, you can just draw over it again in green. And to erase the areas that you don't want masked, hold down Alt on your keyboard and your green tool should turn red. Then just scribble in what you want to erase. Then change your mask feather to around 40. I'm going to close out of this layer, and I'm going to do the same thing but for Triss. So go to your other clip and double click on the display, and then just scribble around until you have a figure. Again, I'm going to change the mask feather to around 40. I'm going to close out of this layer and go back to my selection tool. Now in Effects and Presets, look up Tint. You can either use Tint or S-Tint, but I'm just going to use Tint, and just add that to the clip on top. At the very beginning, add a keyframe for Amount to Tint and change this to 0%, then drag your time indicator towards the middle of the clip and bring this back to 100. Then click on this white little rectangle and change the color to black. Hit Command-C to copy this effect, then go to your other clip on the bottom, make sure your time indicator is at the very beginning of the clip, and hit Command-V to paste the effect. Now I'm just going to make this mask slide to the left and this one slide to the right, so I'm going to speed through this part. And this is what it should look like. Now let's say you have a clip like this where you have two people on either side of the screen, but you don't want it to slide apart because there's enough room in the center for another clip. I'm going to show you how to make the second clip fade in from the background. So you want the same exact setup as last time. You want the clip with two people to be on the top and last throughout the duration of both clips, and you want to pre-compose it because we're going to mask. So I'm going to follow the same exact process I just taught you how to do. I'm going to rotobrush both of them out, then I'm going to fade both of them to black. Now what you want to do is make a duplicate of this first segment that doesn't have any masking on it. Drag this duplicate to the very bottom of all of your clips. Extend the duration so it lasts throughout the duration of this second clip, and then crop it to fit the length of this second clip. In Effects and Presets, look up Luma, and add S-Dissolve Luma to your clip. This is a Sapphire plugin, so if you don't have Sapphire, download it to your After Effects. Please check out the link in my description to download it. At the very beginning, add a keyframe for dissolve %, and make this value around 60. Then drag your time indicator towards the middle of the clip, and change it to 0. And this is what it should look like. Lastly, we're going to do this mask slide in transition. For this, you're going to need two clips, and you want the one on the bottom to last throughout the duration of both, and you want the one on top to be pre-composed because we're going to mask it. So first I'm going to hit Command-D on my keyboard to make one copy of the pre-composed layer. Then I'm going to go up to my rotobrushing tool and double click on the display, and just like I showed you how to do before, I'm going to create a mask of the person. change your mask feather to around 40. Then exit out of your layer and go back to the selection tool. Now I'm gonna make a duplicate of the clip that's masked, and I'm gonna add an effect called halftone to this copy. So in Effects and Presets, look up halftone and add this to the top clip. Hit T on your keyboard to go to opacity. At the very beginning, add a keyframe and keep it at 100. Then drag your time indicator towards the middle and bring this to 0. Easy as your keyframes. Now we're gonna pre-compose this mask layer that has halftone with this middle layer that is also masked. Now I'm just gonna have this slide in from the right. You want it to start towards the right, then come to the center. This is pretty simple, so I'm just gonna speed through this. Now to this clip on the bottom that isn't masked, we're going to add Luma. So in Effects and Presets, look up Luma and add Dissolve Luma to this clip. At the very beginning, add a keyframe for dissolve percent and make this 100. Then towards the end of the clip, bring this back to 0. Hit U on your keyboard to see the keyframes, easy ease them, and go to your graph editor. I'm gonna use Speed Graph for this. Just follow my graph. And this is what it should look like. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this helped. Bye!